Hacksaw Ridge. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all do that review right now.
Okay.
So, this is, and before we do that, let me bring up some stuff right, because y'all going to take over here. I'm going to go see the movie this weekend. I'm going to give my review probably this Sunday or something, but you guys saw this because we were watching, what everybody else wanted to see, Doctor Strange. Y'all got the scraps.
Yeah, we got the leftovers.
Thank you. You just had to sit at the kids' table.
You saying it like that, but there's Oscar buzz on this movie.
That's what I hear. Because we actually got in trouble on YouTube. People were mad at us because we were making fun of the trailer.
Oh, people got mad?
Yeah, because people like, how dare you? That is a war hero. And we were like, no, fuck. This is a movie.
Corey's like, I served too.
Yeah, I was a National Guard. Fuck you.
I was guarding the nation.
They ain't making no movie about your life, man.
They will. Just one more sandwich. But
Damn it, Coleman.
They the deal with this is that it is a war hero, and I didn't have time to do a lot of research on this. Like I'm gonna do my review later, but the main character played by Andrew Garfield is the guy that went in. And he was a very religious and non-violent person.
Right.
You know, this is a time when they got drafted, and he's like, look, you can bring me in, but I ain't going to do shit. And everybody said, okay, everybody comes in here talking that guy shit, all right? Trying not to fight. Quit bullshitting, you a coward. Just say it. And then when the shit went down, everybody that called him a coward, well, he saved some of those people's lives.
Right.
And as I said, this is Andrew Garfield in this. Andrew Garfield trying to get as far away from Spider-Man as he can right now.
Yeah, toxic
Say left to war.
Well, he's still saving people.
Yeah. Still saving people.
Trying to be a hero.
Does kind of do some Spider-Man.
He does, actually.
He does. I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah. He kicked that grenade.
When he kicked the
Man, there's a video of a dude trying to do that, and he gets blown the fuck up.
Where'd you see this?
I saw it online.
What are you? Are you in the dark web?
No. Seriously, it's like one of the Toasties sent it to me because it was one of these things that was on Children of Toast, and I got a notification saying like, "Hey, do you want this up here? Or do you want to take it down?" Like it got flagged. And I was just like, "Oh shit!"
Wait, so you had to watch it? You're like, I got to see this shit.
I watched it 3 times because it was one of those like, did I just see what I thought I saw?
Well,
Like it was you see the bunch of the cops in riot gear all in a row, and the grenade comes over, and the guy he goes to kick, and as soon as he kicks, kabloom, and there's some piece of him that just goes flying.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay, now was this after the movie? Was he trying to be Andrew Garfield?
I don't think. I think in that situation, Andrew Garfield was the furthest thing from his mind.
Andrew did it. Peter Parker did it.
Spider-Man. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord, just one more.
Comes back as a Spider-Man, building with one leg. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer for Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson, and then we'll let these guys do their review. Shit!
We're waiting, sir.
Waiting for what?
Private Doss.
Who the hell is Private Doss?
I was dreaming about being a doctor, but didn't get much school. I can't stay here while all them go fight for me.
But you figure this war is just going to fit in with your ideas?
While everybody else is taking life, I'm gonna be saving it. That's gonna be my way to serve.
This is a personal gift from the United States government designed to bring death to the enemy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sergeant. I can't touch a gun.
You don't kill.
No, sir.
You know, quite a bit of killing does occur in war.
Private Doss does not believe in violence. Do not look to him to save you on the battlefield.
I don't think this is a question of religion. I think this is cowardice.
I fell in love with you because you weren't like anyone else. You're saying you could go to prison.
I don't know how I'm gonna live with myself if I don't stay true to what I believe. With the world so set on tearing itself apart, doesn't seem like such a bad thing to me to want to put a little bit of it back together.
Private Doss, you are free to run into the hellfire of battle without a single weapon to protect yourself.
You dumb motherfucker.
I'm gonna get you home.
There's something you gotta see.
Spider-Man!
We have to go back up tomorrow. And they're not gonna go up there without you.
Oh shit!
Help me.
You'll have to trust me.
You better
Help me get one more.
One more.
One more. Please, Lord.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Man,
Help me, Lord.
say what you want to about Andrew Garfield, but he has got one long neck.
Man, I was watching the movie. I was like, Jesus.
So he's part giraffe.
I'm waiting for the slow
Like, long
neck. Like, here it is.
Yeah, long neck and some big ears, man. That's what I noticed. I was like,
A Pez dispenser.
yeah.
Hacksaw Ridge candy.
One more.
Yeah, man. So you know what? I've been hearing, like you said, I've been hearing a lot of Oscar buzz about this, and people. I can't tell if the movie's actually good or people just are saying that because it's what people want to see during Oscar time or what people want to see during even an election time. You know, this is a war. This is a patriotic film. This is one that invokes religion. So, you know, I don't know if people are saying this because it just has the right elements. That's why I know y'all will be real with this. So, we want to start. Go ahead.
So when watching this trailer, it seems like most of the footage is taking. This movie's pretty much broken up into two parts. There's parts where he's at home building up character, and then the war itself. And they're both pretty long. I would say like an hour. It spends about an hour each, which it seems pretty long, but it's just enough time because when it starts at home, it's building up these characters. You're meeting his brother. He has what's his dad as well.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
The alcohol.
No, when that Hugo.
I mean,
Weaving?
Hugo.
Hugo, yeah, Hugo.
My bad. I was thinking about Jurassic
Agent
Park.
Smith. Agent
Yeah.
Smith, who had previously gone into war before that. And so you see how alcohol is affecting his family, how he came up, and pretty much like this girl that he meets as well. So it establishes these characters and it grows that as well, which is nice. As it moves on, once it gets to the actual war stuff, you're just like, holy shit, man. The way that it was filmed, it's so much violence.
That's what I hear, man. I hear surprisingly violent.
Man, and when it jumps into it, like, because at first you're just like, okay, it's building up this tension, and as soon as it goes into the violence, man, it doesn't let up. I mean, it felt kind of relentless there. I want to compare it to almost Saving Private Ryan, where you're just like, holy shit, man. It made me feel like, man, if I was in war, I don't think I could be a soldier, man. I would be stuck at one
Well,
spot.
it seems like the main thing Saving Private Ryan did was change the game where now when anybody shows war, they have to make it ultra violent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like they do a great job of trying to combat that. Was it Omaha Beach that was on Saving Private Ryan, right? Where they with that scene, like I remember during that you watch some guy picking up his arm and people just getting shot up. Dude, there was in this movie I think they went a little bit more
yeah, it's
violent.
even further, man.
Like, see, there's parts where there's people just standing up and just get hit. People's brains get blown out into somebody else. Some dude gets shot from the back and his guts fly out into the screen.
Holy shit.
Like, you know, the
Yeah.
one leg in Saving Private Ryan, the dude picking up his leg, there's like 10 people that lose their legs. And they're just like, whatever, there's another one. Let's go. We got
It's incredibly
One dude picks up
violent.
another body's legs and
trying to put his leg on.
Put another person's leg.
So I thought it was really relentless in that, and it really makes you feel like, man, it's crazy. You actually feel danger for these guys, and you know, most people when you see a war movie, you're just like, man, that sucks. But in this, you're like, holy shit, I couldn't do that myself. So I really liked the combat and the action in it as well. One of my concerns going into the movie when watching the trailer too, it seems like his faith is a part of why he doesn't use this weapon. Right. And I was like, man, it's Mel Gibson. I hope he doesn't beat it over the head with Christianity and religion and stuff. And I think that's what was a really good job, was even though it was his kind of driving point, you never felt watching it like, okay, they're beating this over my head. You kind of felt for the character and you understand why, but it was never like, you should be religious. So I thought that was a good point.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I plugged in my phone and just totally took me to a new area. I don't know what's going
Put a
on.
Doctor Strange on you.
It went back.
People looking at this and you talking about violence. You see the dude in the cape flying and shit.
Is that what happened?
No,
It went back to Spider-Man. Garfield flying around. Yeah.
But one of the things, especially with this movie, one of my biggest concerns going into it was the length of this. I saw it was 2 hours and 20 minutes. So I was like, oh, great. We're going to get, it's Mel Gibson again. He's going to go for one of these long, epic movies like, Apocalypto and Passion of the Christ. And with that, man, one thing about this, that 2 hours and 20 minutes doesn't feel like there was wasted minutes.
Not at all.
Every shot in here feels like there was a point to it.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm agree with you.
Yeah, and with that, He said it was basically broken up into 2 parts. I would say like kind of like 2.5, 3 maybe, because there's a part where they show him as a kid, and then they show him, you know, finding his love, and then they show him going into war. And with the kid part, and that was another thing too. That I found, again, like you said you were worried about religion being just beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
They bring it into another point that shows why he doesn't like violence, and it's something that happens very early on in his childhood.
Yeah, and you're just like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, you're like for this guy that we know doesn't like violence in the future, he sure was a crazy ass kid.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like, and that was something that was really surprising too. Andrew Garfield, I was gonna, you know, like, all right, how is your country's accent going to be? And he actually did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't too, like, obviously you hear parts in here you're laughing at, like, oh, you know,
let me get one more,
please, one more.
Yeah.
But he's
One
from,
more.
like, you know, Virginia in 1910. So
You know what? There's and I don't want to interrupt. I just want to make this point before I forget it, because when I was watching this, let me see if I can put it on the clip. When I was watching this, I was watching some of the other performances in the movie, because he talking about some of the stars that we already know. But there was one guy I was really impressed with, and I want to know how.
I know who you're
how he
thinking. I know who you're talking about.
You because this guy. Let me put it on the clip right here, because the last time I saw this guy, he was kind of messing up. It was
I got a feeling it's Vince Vaughn you're talking about.
no.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Dang,
Is
I was thinking
it the other?
It's your boy from Point Break 2. You know what? I'm sorry, Point Break the remake. A guy named Luke Bracey. Because we made fun of him because he was one of those Nicholas Sparks movies
Yes.
before, and then he was in that movie, and those movies are bad, and they didn't make him look good. And I think I gave him a hard time. And I did say I don't blame actors a lot. And I even think I said this guy, I could see him potentially being a really good actor. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll recognize him maybe, because right now he's a character actor. But I thought his performance was good in this movie. He's one of the guys that actually goes up and calls Andrew Garfield a coward to his face. He also tries to challenge him with violence.
So how come you don't fight? You think you're better than us?
No.
Or if you was attacked? Whoa! Say it like that. Bible says to turn the other cheek, don't it? Yeah, see, I don't think this is a question of religion, fellas. I think this is cowardice. Plain and simple.
He wants to beat his ass so bad right now.
I'm trying to web him up. It's not
If
working.
I had my web shooter,
He's just doing this.
Joke's always going to be there for him, man. I don't care.
Sorry, Andrew. You're forever Spider-Man.
Go on. Take a poke.
Polka.
Tell you what, I'm gonna give you a free shot. Right there. Hit me, Dawes. Go on. Go ahead. No?
How was that guy in the movie, man?
You know what? And that's something, again, to I guess, as a test of this movie. I didn't even notice that was him. Like, I remember seeing Point Break, and he had the long hair. It was like, hey, bro, I'm in the CIA. Or something like that. But in here, like, it's when he's acting, you feel the legit hatred. It's visceral when he's talking to Andrew Garfield. He's like, you're going to get me killed. You're going to get everybody else here killed. Why are you here? You can't help us if you're not going to shoot somebody.
And you can't really blame him for feeling like that.
Yeah, and that's
No,
the
yeah.
thing. Like, everybody in here that has a gripe, it's not one of those like, I just don't like you because your hair is weird or something goofy. It's like, no, like, this is a life or death situation. If something goes down, you're useless to me.
Yeah.
And I think they handled that really well. The one person that I thought was going to be bad, that I'm not a fan of this actor at all, but he surprised the hell out of me, was Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn kicked ass as the drill sergeant in this movie, and he did it with like being serious like a drill sergeant, but then he'd say something hilarious.
I saw, well, you know what? I saw some people in line at the movie last night who already seen the movie, and about 3 people just came out and said, Vince Vaughn, he was awesome in this film.
You're like I'm on a shoe, ain't you?
Give me this.
It's a bit late for target practice now, don't you think? Jump on it. You're kidding. Jump on it. Drag you.
You better move your ass.
yeah. Let's do that.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
We got company.
Come on.
You know. It looks like this works well as an action movie too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm with you on Vince Vaughn as well. When they first introduced him as this drill sergeant, I was like, all right, they're gonna do the Full Metal Jacket. He's just coming with jokes consistently. I thought they did a good job of balancing it, where he was funny, but also you learn to you start hating him as well because he's beating up on Andrew Garfield. But he has a reason to. And then once they go into battle, you're like, he kind of has a fatherly fit. Like these are his guys as well that he went through training as a drill instructor. Now he's out there fighting next to him, and there's even parts where he's like, "Get out of here, kid!" And he's very puts them before him, and you're just like, I thought that's what they did a great job with him as well. It wasn't like he was just the jokester and he wasn't just the drill sergeant. He was also a soldier fighting with them.
Right. This movie did a really good job of balancing out the seriousness of the film as well as the humor, because even though even in the middle of a war zone, soldiers are still gonna have a sense of humor when they're sitting back and.
Well, that's the only way you can cope.
Yeah, that's how you got to deal with everything that's going on around you, and they did a good job of that in the first half, where the alcoholic father's there and he's going through his stripes at home. They did a great job when he's going through boot camp, but then when they're actually down in the trenches, they did a great job there. And even when they go to the trenches in here, like Ray said, it's about them being in a war zone is another hour of the movie, and there's parts where all right, you're going along with him and having to dive in spider holes and go into a trench and jump over this and kick a grenade, and try to go and save your drill sergeant, and the whole time you're watching that you're involved with it, you're engaged, and that was something that was really surprised going into this movie.
You say alcohol problem. Well, I don't know what kind of alcohol he's drinking.
He was
gasoline.
He was great. He was actually probably
what's his name again?
Hugo Weaving. And he was actually probably my favorite actor in this film. And there's a lot of actors that did a great job, but man, he sold it. I was like, God, how can they even freaking like this dude?
I thought he was legit drunk.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's
he
it.
just watched Doctor Strange. He's still fucked up.
He's turning into slime or something.
He's fucking melting in this movie, basically. There are. I mean, it's not a flawless movie. There are some things where it was, I guess, an odd choice for Mel Gibson to make, because I want to believe that they filmed all of this in Australia, but there's parts in here where it's supposed to be in the hills, like in the Appalachian Hills, and they go up into this mountaintop and they do this 360 shot. It's some of the worst. It looked like The Room.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
That's where they ran out of budget right there.
Yeah, it was like, all right, I see what the production with all these explosions and not the green screen. And Sam Worthington, he was pretty good.
Really?
He's not the best. But keep in mind, they keep him kind of relegated. He's really minimum compared to Vince Vaughn and Andrew.
Yeah,
Garfield
he was in he was in a major part in there.
Yeah.
And now I'm noticing it's just a movie full of castaways. Like Mel Gibson's like, we all suck, guys. They're gonna Andrew, come here, Vince Vaughn, come here. Worthington, get your ass over here. We're making a movie.
Up at the homeless actor shelter. Please, God.
I just took all the castaways and brought them together, man.
Yeah, and then at the end they do something really surprising. I'm not going to give it away, but you're like, wow, they actually went in depth with this, and they crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's. So give them major credit for that.
So this is not the patriotic religious film or religious.
No,
I
don't think so. There are moments of patriotism, because again, this is World War II, so we got to get these. There's a lot of Japanese racial slurs in here if you want to go for that.
At least it's accurate.
At least it's not Jewish. So.
Yeah,
I know what I'm about to say. And that Mel Gibson meant everyone else.
No, write more. Can we throw sugar tits in here somewhere?
You sure you want to say Jap? Yeah. And by Jap, I mean Jewish ass people.
Japs, just some I haven't even heard of. I was like, wow, I guess there's a slew in there for me. But yeah, it's something where you're watching it and you, the whole time you're like, wow, this can't be real. This has got to be exaggerated. There's no way he went through all this stuff. And going back and actually researching some of it, okay, this movie stayed to form, and actually they didn't embellish a lot. I mean, I'm sure there was some artistic liberties.
Yeah.
But when you find out what the real toll is, the amount of people that he saved, you're like, okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, and keep in mind, again, I don't want to give any kind of plot points away, but he's it's just him saving people.
Damn.
Yeah. There are. It wasn't as strong as a Clint Eastwood patriotism movie, but there are moments there where you're just like, all right, I get it. They have. There's one shot in the trailer where they're wiping the blood off of him, and he's looking up at the bucket. And there's also kind of the cringeworthy moment in the trailer where he's like, we're waiting for him. Who is he? He's praying for us, and I was just like, all right. Also, they kind of had this weird thing where at the end of the movie, and I'm trying to spoil it, but it just seemed like they rushed the ending. they're about to go back up to battle, and it was just kind of the way that they did the last moment. It seemed weird, like they just rushed through it. They're like, all right, and to the point where like, I don't know. It seemed like they could have actually added just more time because it was a 2-hour and 15-minute movie, but it didn't seem like it. I kind of wanted to see what else happened towards the end in the actual battle.
I thought it ended at a great point
You
because
think
it's
so?
like, all right, we've got what you came to see. Like, why would we do? Like, it's like you going to see Sully and they start following him like 8 years after the plane accident.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I don't need to see any
Well,
more
I'm
of
just
this.
talking about the war itself continuing
right.
in that one battle because it was different. They didn't go up there one time.
What would you rate it?
Oh man, this is definitely a full price movie for me. Like it was really engaging. Like the Oscar buzz that this is getting, I'm sure is probably going to be for director and effects, because Jesus Christ, man, this is some of the most goriest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
people getting it's rough. People, if you want to see some crazy, like if you play a Battlefield or whatever right now, it ain't got nothing on this.
Damn.
I remember saying that about Apocalypto, where it's just like, damn, man, you had to go all out.
Well,
like
you
that.
know Mel Gibson and his gore.
He
man.
knows it.
He's crazy.
From Braveheart, Passion of the
Braveheart,
Christ, he got all this stuff. And I don't know if you noticed, but in the trailer, they didn't put from Mel Gibson. It said from the director of
Right.
Braveheart. They were like, we don't want this stuff. But at the end of the movie, it was like, Mel Gibson.
Directed by anti-Semite.
And people was just clapping like, yes. But yeah, man, if I had to give it a rating, definitely a full price. I really enjoyed it. And it was one of those movies where I was driving home and I was just kind of going over it, and I was like, man, it was heavy, but you really felt for the characters.
Yeah.
I like the way that it had good pacing. I wish they would have kind of delved deeper into the end battle, but other than that, man, it's definitely a full price.
Yeah, you got me. I'm glad I hear how the gore is going to be because sometimes you really need to be braced for that. Because I remember
True.
I remember when I went to go see Saving Private Ryan, and I heard that it was a Spielberg movie with Matt Damon. I'm like, I'm gonna see it was 10 in the morning. I went to go see it. And I was like, I'm gonna go see a nice family movie, And that first 10 minutes, like,
Hey, Mama, that's something they did here, like in the Saving Private Ryan scene, where you feel like you down there with them, and like you'll feel the same way in
Man,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, if you see one horror movie directed by a racist director this Christmas, see this one. Hacksaw Ridge.
See, I feel like the only thing that would be unrealistic to me watching it like that, like I'm there, is that I wouldn't still be going that way.
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. And even like some of the characters are like, we're not moving, and they're just like,
That's
you better
gonna be you.
Yeah, they're like, you better get your
I'm
ass
good, buddy.
going, man.
Mark's burying himself.
Yeah. So I'm right there
I'm
with
like
you,
Bugs
man.
Bunny.
I would have left too, dude. I was like, there's no way I could be in more.
Fuck this.
Goddamn cowards.
Shut up,
But hey, is
Corey.
there room in that boat?
You'd have brought out the white flag.
They make the Japanese soldiers look like orcs in this. For real, motherfuckers just keep coming. You like, oh my god, we are going to die.
I think at one point they were like, for Sauron and shit.
Yeah, for Sauron.
Help me. You'll have to trust me.
You better come home to me.
Please, Lord, help me get one more. Help me get one more.